This is the intermediate cold sleeping bag, which is my favorite. An extreme cold does exist, but this is a little bit larger and a lot warmer, meant for snowy, extreme cold conditions. Back to the intermediate. Most of the ones you're gonna find are dated in the 60s through the 80s. So it makes it ideal for Vietnam reenacting, Cold War reenacting, airsofting. These were used all the way up until they were replaced with the more modern nylon ones. This is my personal set, which has a bunch of husky fur on it. But you can see that says intermediate cold, and it's got the US stamp. And it's got like the 1950 style font on the US there. So this looks like an older set. We got our strings on the bottom so you can roll it up and tie it off. You got your face hole for when you're sleeping. You have snaps covering up the zipper for the extra little bit of insulation. And we got our zipper. So smooth. And you've got this extra little ridge on the inside to help protect from the heat escaping through the zipper. Inspection tag. And we've got our label. So here's our label. Got instructions for use. Select. Talks about sweating. Always keep it clean. Yada, yada, yada. And here's the contract number. The 84, that's the year. So the contract for making this was 1984, which usually means that is also the production year. So this is probably made in 1984 or 1985. And we got the national stock number. Oh, it says synthetic filled. So if you have any allergies, that's important. So this is my favorite sleeping bag. It's the most comfortable. It's fairly warm, but if you're going to be out in the snow in very cold conditions, you want an extreme cold sleeping bag. The downside to this bag is that it's fairly large. As much as you try to compact it down, it's still going to be very big. If you're taking the family camping and you got 4 of these in your vehicle, that takes up a lot of space. And if you're on a hike, putting this in your pack in order to hike, it eats up a lot of space there too. That's why there's sleeping bag rolls that are, even as going as back as M56 gear, that will roll over your sleeping bag and allow you to attach it to the outside of your ruck so you don't eat up a lot of space inside your ruck. Another thing is washing these, because synthetic filled and cotton or synthetic fabric, it really soaks up the water. So washing it and trying to dry it, it takes a long time drying it, whether you're trying to hang it outside on a nice warm summer day or spring day, or you're trying to tumble it in the dryer, and then you have to turn it inside out and tumble it again and turn it back the regular way and tumble it again. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it's a huge hassle cleaning it. So both of those are solved with modern sleeping bags because they're a lot more compressible. So they're smaller to pack and they wash better and they dry faster. So that's the advantage and disadvantage with this. But even still, this is just one of my favorites. And if I'm going to reenacting or going camping, I'm going to grab this over top of the more modern Marine Corps one. Unless I have to hike it, then I'm going to splurge for the Marine Corps modern sleeping bag, simply for space and having to go on a hike with it. So there you go. There's the intermediate cold sleeping bag. And these are available surplus. I highly recommend you pick up one of these. If you do get an intermediate cold sleeping bag or an extreme cold sleeping bag, I recommend finding one of these covers. They're a lot harder to come by. I've picked these up whenever I've found them, and sometimes it's been in some oddball places. But this is the sleeping bag cover, which helps dirt and dust and mud from getting onto your sleeping bag, so you won't have to wash your sleeping bag as much. You'll just have to wash the cover, which that makes it a lot more convenient. So these have snaps, and they will snap into the snaps you already have on your sleeping bag. And they also have little grommets for little eye holes. So if you've got one of the older World War II sleeping bags, you can feed the lace through and then cinch it up. And these are often called like M1949 but here's the label. Case water repellent sleeping bag. And there you got the little hood for the top. And we'll go all the way down to the bottom. And this got the thinner US font. And you typically see the thinner one on a lot of Vietnam equipment. So like this is like the 1960s, 70s military font.